Welcome to another episode of Issues and Insights. I'm Bryce Shoemake from Magnolia Bank, and I always tell you all that we've got a great show, but we've got a really cool show today, and not too often do I get to do a show where we get to bring students from our school system in, and we get to interview them on what's going on in their life at Hardin County Schools. So today I've got some folks from North Hardin High School JROTC program. And you guys and ladies have got a great program coming up that has been going on for several years. So let me introduce you all. Chief Warrant Officer Edward Dick is down here at the end of us now. I almost said the bottom. At the end. And Chief, how long have you been in charge of JROTC at North Hardin High School?
I've been at the school for 3 years now as a senior Army instructor.
Okay. And you've got three of your command folks here,
yes.
Cadet Command. And so first off, we've got Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Parker.
Yes, sir.
Now, Andrew, are you a senior this year?
Yes, sir, I am.
And so you have been in JROTC since a freshman?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And we also have Cadet Sergeant Major Nathaniel Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Nathaniel, are you a senior this year as well?
That is correct.
Okay. And have you been in since you were a freshman as well?
Yes, sir.
Cool. And Cadet Major, tell me again how you pronounce your first name. Casiana Hernandez. Mm-hmm. And Casiana, are you a senior as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And have you been on JROTC since you were a freshman?
Yeah, all 4 years.
Oh, awesome. So let me ask you all this, and I know that Chief would probably love to hear this. Your all's future plans, are you all intending to go into the military?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm going to go the ROTC route.
Okay.
So I'm planning on going to college and getting my ROTC degree and then shipping off.
I plan on enlisting into the National Guard to pay for my college while
Very
becoming
good.
a mechanical engineer while learning mechanics through basic.
Very good. Very good.
I'm going to enlist into the National Guard as well and have them pay for my college in Alaska.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So, Chief, I know you've got to be proud of these three cadets.
Oh, absolutely. All three of them are the top of the leadership in our program, from our battalion commander, sergeant major, and executive officer. They represent North Hardin High School, the program, and Hardin County every day in school and in the community.
So, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel, you all have got an event getting ready to happen pretty soon at North Hardin High School. Kind of tell us what the name of this event is and when it's happening.
So we're having the Sergeant Major Paul C. Gray Memorial Invitational. It is the 7th Brigade drill meet. It covers 5 states with 58 schools across, and we're going to have a bunch of different events going on and a lot of fun activities for the cadets.
Okay, all right. So you all don't remember Sergeant Major Gray, but I do, because at being at Radcliffe, I had quite a lot of interaction with Sergeant Gray, and he would be proud of you all. He would. So in saying that, for years this event has been going on. Anderson, do you know how many years this has been going on at North Hardin High School?
I do not know, but I believe it's been going on for at least 30 years.
Chief, help him.
Program was established by Sergeant Major Paul C. Gray in 1993 and started the drill invitationals. And on his passing, 7th Brigade made it the Paul C. Gray Memorial Invitational.
And it's my understanding, Chief, that that 7th Brigade pays for everything. I mean, the schools are not out any money, even those schools that come and stay overnight.
The combination of the fundraising the schools do, each of the programs, and 7th Brigade does make sure that every JROTC program that comes to it, that they're the ones that pay for the transportation, the lodging, and their meals the whole time they're here, so that they can focus on the competition amongst their peers, but in just the esprit de corps of the whole event.
Now, Major Hernandez, because you all are the hosting school, you all don't compete, correct?
No, the only team that competes is exhibition.
Right.
We take a step back, and instead of competing, we just run the entire show.
Now, it is my understanding that, Anderson, you all have most of the events at North Hardin High School and at North Middle School, correct?
That is correct.
And so there's another competition that goes on at John Hardin High School.
Yes, sir. So we have the marksmanship and the archery that takes place at John Hardin.
Very cool. And who's in charge of that? Chief?
Sergeant Major Robinson, who is the marksmanship coach, runs it in conjunction with the team from Henderson County, come in and help out. And the archery is put on by Mr. Mike Moritz, who is the archery coach there at John, and myself.
And Sergeant Major has been doing this for many years in the marksmanship competition.
Yes, he has. Since the day he's been there at John, probably as long as Sergeant Major Paul C. Gray was. He's been there the entire time.
And we were teasing before we started, folks. In part of my police officer duties, at one point I was a school resource officer at John for a little while, and so I got to actually go out and shoot with the JRTC folks. Now, when I say shoot, it's a pellet rifle, so it's not like an explosion that's going on in the school, and there's real firearms that are going on there, but it is accuracy is a major thing because it's not as easy as it looks. Am I correct?
It's not as easy at all.
And so people, Anderson, are the folks that compete in this are quite marksmen. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Many schools have shown that they have what it takes to be part of the best, and so has North Hardin.
Major Hernandez, we talked about real quick about how many schools, but how many schools are involved in this?
58.
And they come from how many different states?
5.
5 different states. So, Chief, so that people can understand how far your all's region reaches, what are those states?
So 7th Brigade covers the area here in the North Midwest, starting with us, Kentucky. We got Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio.
Wow.
I believe. Yeah.
So, again, Major Hernandez, some of these schools actually have to come in and stay overnight, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're putting it, not only are you all helping the economy in our cities, but you all are bringing in some major competition. Now, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel, is this event open to the public?
Yes, so people can come and they can watch their kids. They can come and watch their fellow cadets, and everybody compete.
Now, tell me again when this is.
It starts on March 8th at John Hardin, and then it continues through March 9th.
Okay. So both days, are competitions going on only on the 8th of March at John Hardin? They're not going on at the same time at both schools?
On the 9th, there's going to be competitions at both schools, but
Okay.
yes, on the 8th, it's only at John.
So people can go in to John Hardin and watch as well, just like they come in and watch at North Hardin.
Yes.
So, Cadet Sergeant Major Anderson, tell me what your favorite competition is.
I believe my favorite is the air rifle competition.
Okay. Is that one that you compete in?
Yes, sir. I am
Okay.
currently the commander of the air rifle team at North Hardin.
Awesome, awesome. So, just to make me feel bad, tell me what your score usually is when you shoot.
So usually my score is roughly around 229 or 228,
Out of how many?
300.
Okay.
But I believe there is room for more based off of grouping points.
Okay. So, are you the top person, even though you're the commander? Do you get the highest score usually?
I could say that, but no, I'm not the
Okay.
top shooter.
Okay, all right. Because Chief down there is shaking his head. I just kind of wanted to see what you'd say because I see him shaking his head down there. Now, I know that we talked about this off camera, but Cadet Hernandez, there's going to be some folks there from colleges. Explain a little bit to the folks that are at home right now. When we say people are going to be there from colleges, explain what that is.
So we have a college row where all the cadets can go along and see all the different colleges that are giving out different scholarships. And at the end of the night, some of those scholarships will be given out because there's an interview during the competition.
And are these scholarships full or partial, or explain to folks?
Some of them are full rides, and some of them is just a certain amount of money.
Okay, all right. Lieutenant Colonel, tell me what happens when these different colleges come in to talk to you all. What does that all entail?
Like Cassiana previously mentioned, they're all going to be in a row, and the cadets can go through and talk to people from different schools that kind of pique their interests, and they're going to talk about, the benefits they have to offer, and, how much they're willing to pay and how much they'll cover, and things like that.
So, but you all actually have a competition, correct, Chief?
Which competition?
For the scholarships.
So the scholarships, 7th Brigade Commander has an amount of allocation of scholarships that he awards, and he uses the Paul C. Gray event to do that. So each of the schools will have cadets from each one of their programs go through a board interview process while at the Paul C. Gray on that Saturday, the 9th. And during, I think, the lunchtime break, that's when the brigade commander will present it to those cadets who have earned 3 or 4 year scholarships.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So not only is there chances for these different schools to take home trophies for winning these events, is there, I can't remember, is there any monetary competition? Or is it just bragging rights and trophies?
Bragging rights.
Just so it's mainly just bragging rights. We do have a trophy we hand down, and there's some medals and stuff people can get.
Okay.
But it's mainly just kind of bragging rights and knowing you're the
Okay,
best.
okay. But the money comes about when we start talking about these scholarships, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, that affects a lot of people's futures as far as that goes, correct?
Yes.
So, are any of your all schools, Chief, are any of North Hardin's cadets competing in those scholarships as well, even though they're the hosting school?
Yes, we have, I believe, 3 or 4 cadets who are going to be part of that pool of cadets that will interview that Saturday.
Very cool. Cadet Lieutenant Colonel, I know you all are the hosting schools, so do you all get to travel, or do you all travel other places to compete, since you all really can't compete since you're the hosting school for this event? Do you all travel to other places throughout the year?
Yes, sir. So there's been times in the past where we have traveled. A couple months ago, we went up to Louisville to compete in a drill meet, and then just last night we went to Central Hardin and competed.
Okay, so the event that they had at Central Hardin, did several schools come into that, or was it just the local area?
So we had 3 schools that went and competed at that drill meet. It was North Hardin, John Hardin, and Central Hardin High School, the host of it.
And so it was kind of a Hardin County Invitational then, so to speak, right?
Ended up being, yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. So I'm curious, was there like an overall competition where you accumulated points for each competition so that there was an overall winner?
Yes.
Cassiana, I see you shaking your head. So
Yes, there was.
And who was that overall winner?
Central Hardin.
Oh, I can see some disappointment there.
But we did win one. We got first place in exhibition,
Awesome.
armed exhibition.
Awesome. So, of these competitions that you've gone on, and Cassiana, that makes a great segue into my next question. So, in these competitions, people don't understand that are sitting at home possibly what some of these competitions are. Now, several, because we're a military community, will understand, but tell them what the different competitions are that you all have that'll be going on Friday and Saturday.
We have Vex Robotics, academic.
Hold it down. The first one's what?
Vex Robotics.
Tell everybody what that is.
Basically some, you know that one, I don't.
So,
I don't know that
It's a helper.
so there's going to be a little course set up, and Vex hosts it. I know some of the middle schools around here compete in that as well. And the teams, they go and they build the robots, and they take time engineering it and going through the engineering process, and they design it, and then they use it to compete through whatever challenge awaits.
Okay, so he helped you on that one. So tell me another competition.
Academics.
Okay. Anderson, what does the academic competition consist of?
It consists of leadership and basic knowledge that we have obtained through the program and through life.
So does that mean you actually take a test that day then? Is it a written test?
I believe it is a written test, but I don't know if they have changed it to an online test, since I know technology has been improving over time.
Sure, Chief.
The academics it goes along with what's called JLab. And so either they will have they'll bring the computers in and they will compete as teams. So every school will have their academic team come in and as a group answer the questions and have winners for second,
Almost
third
like an
place winner.
academic bowl.
Yes,
Okay.
academic bowl.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cassiana.
We also have drones.
Okay.
That's whenever we set up a course, a set course, and they fly their drones through it practically, and we compete against that.
Do you ever have any crashes when they're flying those drones?
I have not seen it, but they probably have some.
Now, Lieutenant Colonel's laughing here. So, has that happened?
Yes, so last year, me and Anderson, we were at North Middle School, kind of running the show over there, and yes, there were some crashes.
Okay. All right. All right, Cassiana, you're up again. What's the next one?
And then we have armed and unarmed, color guard, exhibition, and drill, and also knockout.
Now, when we were talking earlier off camera, Chief I said, you got knockout drills, and Chief said, yes, the armed and unarmed is the favorite.
It's personally Parker's favorite.
Okay. And so, Parker, since she threw that to you, tell us what that consists of.
So all the cadets, despite any of the other competitions they've been a part of, they're allowed to compete, and everyone gets into one big formation, and someone goes and calls out commands, and the people that do it correctly, they move on, and the people that do it incorrectly, they are out, and then it just gives everybody a chance, be a part of it and kind of show their skills.
That's the name for knockout drill, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So now I've got to ask you this: what's the funniest thing that you've seen happen at a knockout drill?
Somebody else want to
Yeah,
take that?
I got you.
Yeah.
So the funniest thing I have ever seen was some people will accidentally go to a right face or a left face while they're at parade rest, and they go to attention and then turn, and then they realize that they got an out, so they take a moment to realize what they just did. Some are modest and they will take themselves out, and others will have to be tapped on the shoulder to say they're out.
Okay. Okay. So, in other words, doing something different than what the commander gave the command to do. Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So, and so some of them are kind of comical. Sometimes you can't help but laugh, right? I mean, even
Yes.
though it's serious and they're taking that serious and they're upset, the other side sometimes it's hard not to giggle just a little bit. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people will say like, "Oh, you're not supposed to laugh at them because that's unsportsmanlike." But I mean, sometimes you got to just make fun of yourself a little bit. Correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Cassiana, again, knockout drills. What else do we have?
Left is air rifle and archery.
Okay, Anderson, you are the air rifle king. So when we start talking about these competitions, how many, you all are just using air rifles only, and then you've added archery now since the last time I saw it happen.
Yes.
So, but it's air rifles only, not a pistol at all, just air rifles only,
No,
correct?
that is correct. It's just airsoft pellets only, and we have recently been donated precision air rifles, which is a more accurate rifle than we have previously had.
Right, okay. Awesome. Well, Cassiana, is that the last one, the competitions?
Yep, those are all the competitions that we compete in.
And Chief, with it being that many students there and that many schools, the 2-day event, it takes up that full amount of time, correct?
Yes, it does. To take the phrase, it takes an army to run an operation like that. And taking that aside, my cadets in North Hardin High School year after year have shown me their dedication to the program and their initiative, and they run the show. It allows us as the instructors to take care of making sure the scoring is happening correctly, because we know we can trust that once we've given them a location to take care of, that is taken care of. And I do have one ad this year, a late ad by 7th Brigade, because we've invested a lot of time and energy, especially on the part of the cadets. We have upgraded our obstacle course behind the North Hardin High School the brigade decided that we needed to run an O-course challenge as well as part of the policy grade. So there is, weather permitting, that will also be going on as well.
Awesome, awesome. And folks, if you all have never been to this, it is open to the public. Best I remember, you usually have food vendors there that have food. So, I mean, since you're there all day, you've got refreshments there going on. I think in the past there's been some trade shows even where vendors have been there and had things for cadets, you know, that you'd be interested in. But folks, come out and watch this because it is quite entertaining. And it is neat because there's something going on all the time. I tell you what, when I used to go, I used to love to watch you all go through the knockout drills, and I loved watching the drill sergeants that were there that were grading the knockout drills because they were as much fun to watch as you all were because they get quite animated in what they're doing. So you all put on this show, and it's all run by cadets, correct, Chief?
7th Brigade brings their staff with them, and they also, for the grading to make sure of impartiality across the board, they bring drill sergeants in to do all of the scoring of all the events.
Awesome.
So they're there. We have our support from all the recruiters here in Hardin County, and of course the schools, ROTC programs that come in as for College Row, we have all them. They bring their cadets in as well. And like you said, we will have a bunch of different food trucks there in and around the school, and vendors that'll be inside, things that are junior ROTCs, but that's selling their wares to the cadets as well.
Because it truly takes an army to feed the army, right?
It does take an army to feed an army.
And one last thing I want to talk about here is that since it is open, there's no cost to get in. It's free for folks to come in and watch, correct?
It's free.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the awards ceremony caps off the day on the 9th, and usually that runs about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that right?
With the large amount of schools, we hope to get through our schedule. It is currently planned to hopefully kick off around 5:30, 6 o'clock so that we can get everybody awarded. And during the final grading and scoring, that's when the knockout challenges occur and everything, so we can make sure everything is tallied right so we know who the overall winner is for the day.
So 7th Brigade, one thing we want to add is 7th Brigade is stationed where?
Right here at Fort Knox.
And so they are in a big partner
Yeah.
for you all on this, totally sponsoring everything that goes on there.
Yes.
So
It's an honor that year after year they continue to trust us with their drill competition.
absolutely. Anything that I've missed that you all want to add for letting people know what's going on?
No, sir.
I think we've cleared it up.
Okay. Chief, anything that closing comments on?
My closing comments is this is the big event for us as a program, not just for us as a school, but also the community as a whole. And year after year, not just North Hardin High School cadets, but the other cadets from John and Central that come and compete and also support and help make this possible. They show us just what the next generation is ready to do, and they make us proud of who they are and what they're becoming, and the faith that they know exactly what they want when they graduate high school.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. I've enjoyed talking to you all, and I know that not only is Chief proud of you and North Hardin proud of you, but I know your parents are proud of you as well. And so I appreciate you, and Chief, thank you for your service. Appreciate you keeping our nation safe and all that you and several of our military services do to keep us safe every day.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that. Thank you all for joining us here on Hardin County Education and Community TV, where we try to keep you informed on what's going on throughout this big community that we call Hardin County. But not only that, more importantly, what's going on in the Hardin County school system, just like this event that's going on March 8th and March 9th at John Hardin and North Hardin High School. So come on out, join these young people, see what is going on in their lives in the Hardin County school system. Thank you for joining us. We'll keep you up to date on all of our events throughout the year. I'm Bryce Shoemake from Magnolia Bank. Stay tuned as we present you with all of the happenings throughout our community.